Thank you so much for staying with SABC News. My name is Diabo Sito. This is Your Money on Market Sense, where we'll talk all things personal finance. Financial advisors are calling on consumers to do a cost analysis to determine how much money they'll need to educate their children up to tertiary level. Failure to save enough money for your child's education could force you to dip into your life savings or even take up expensive credit. School fees have been increasing by about 8% per year. This is much higher than the inflation rate.
Saving for your child's education is one of the most important investments one is likely to make in their lifetime, and it's recommended that you must start saving as soon as your child is born. This will enable you to accumulate as much money as possible, and you should consider the cost of investing.
Before you make any investment, you must always consider the costs. And the three main costs that clients often pay are: one, the administration costs paid to the company that is administering your actual investment. The second one is the cost of the investment manager. So the asset managers that manage your underlying portfolio, they have costs as well. And then the third cost is the cost of advice, which is the financial advisor that's giving you advice. So look at all three of those costs before you sign on the dotted line. The costs that you incur with the financial advisor, please remember those are negotiable. Those must be stated very clearly to you, and you should be able to see them.
For a child attending a low-cost private school, it could cost you about 2.7 million rand to educate them from grade 1 up to a 4-year degree. And if your child goes to a prestigious private school, the cost is likely to be 7.7 million rand.
If you make the sacrifice now and do the full amount that you need to invest for this child, the beauty about it is that over the lifetime of that child's education career, if the market returns what we expect it to return, what the education would cost you would be only about 20 to 30%, and the other 80 to 70% will actually come from the market.
Many people have been disappointed by the low returns of education or endowment policies after investing in them for many years. The cost of these policies are usually high, and they have not been able to keep up with inflation. These policies also have restrictions and will be penalized for early withdrawals. You should have different types of portfolios for your child's education and invest in portfolios that have exposure to the stock market. Tax-free savings, exchange-traded funds, and unit trusts are just some of the investments that usually perform above inflation. Investing your money in a bank account is not likely to give you good returns.
My advice would be, particularly if investing for the long term, when you're using tax-free savings accounts, is not to use money market instruments that are normally found in banks, which is where most people are investing, but to rather use a unit trust portfolio within a tax savings account that can give you the returns of investing in the stock market.
You need to do your homework to determine how much money you're going to need to educate your child up to tertiary level, and be consistent with your investment. If you fail to invest enough money for your child's education, you will be forced to take most of that money from your pocket. Naledi Matlapeng, SABC News, Johannesburg.